Hello there and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy you're here to join me today. My name is Deepa Robbins from DeeZinesByD and I have another Make the Cards Challenge post for you today. This one is a simple color challenge and we've chosen one color that we want you guys to kind of feature in your card. This doesn't have to be the only color, but it has to be included somewhere. So today's color is green and we want you to put this anywhere in your card. So if you happen to be making any card that has this color in it, go ahead and link up your designs to the website at www.makethecardschallenge.com and you're entered for a chance to be a winner for the week. So here is the green that we want you to use for your cards. I'd say this is like a winter green. I have this cardstock here by Simon Says Stamp, and I'm going to be using the Pinkfresh Studio Abstract Triangles plate. This is new, so I'm excited to use it. And I wanted to do double foiling. So I want to use this to foil twice on my cardstock. I'm using my Spellbinders quick trimmer to cut out this beautiful foil. Now this is called Opal foil and it's so nice because it's clear and shines many different colors. So I'm assuming once this gets on the cardstock, I really don't know which color it's going to pick up. So I guess that's the surprise. We'll see what happens. So I've cut this out here and it's good and ready to go. I'm also going to use my trimmer to cut out some gold matte foil from Spellbinders as well, and that's what we'll use for the double foiling. So now I have my plate positioned one way here. I'm really going to center it in my cardstock here because I don't want to have to trim this. I mean, if I need to, I will, but I've kind of cut this to the size that I want it. I've put it through my hot foil machine, which is the Spellbinders Glimmer Foil machine. And now I will remove that plate very carefully because it's really hot. And remove the foil, and oh my god, look at that. It looked like it picked up more of a blue color to me. I'm kind of just trying to flatten and get off all the little extra pieces for you. And I'll do the same thing here with the matte gold foil. And so this created like a two-tone foiling, which was, I think, really cool. It's a different look, but I really want to highlight that foiling in the center, so I decided I wanted to do some ink blending along the edges of this panel. And I've decided to use Rustic Wilderness and Pine Needles Distress ink to do this. And I've got my Simon Says Stamp Positively Everything tool to help me with preventing my little ink cube from moving around too much while I'm picking up the color on my brush. This seems to work well for me. I know that there's some other little mats out there for different ink pads that can help you out as well. So I put on the Rustic Wilderness first to kind of give you that really nice deep green look. And then I'm just going to darken up the edges just a little bit more with the Pine Needles. So this kind of gives me like a bit of a great color gradient. So we got a really dark color coming into the lighter color in the center. And this is kind of just pulling all your focus into the center of that panel where all of those beautiful overlapping foiled triangles are. And that's what you get, which I think is actually really cool after you add that ink. So I'm going to use this Pinkfresh Studio Poinsettia washi. This was part of one of their most recent holiday releases, and I'm so happy I was able to get my hands on it. I'm actually showing you here, I'm going to lay down this pattern twice. So this is the beginning of the washi tape. I haven't used this before, and you can see that I'm getting like a half pattern here. Like the bottom half of it is kind of cut off. Now you may be tempted to kind of just pull this off and throw it in the garbage, but I could never. I just can't. So I'm actually placing this down on some thinner cardstock than I would use for my card base. And I'm basically, as you can see, it's pretty easy to kind of lift this up and place it back down. And I'm using my ruler to kind of just get all the little air bubbles out. So I will stick that piece down, even though it's not going to give me a full print of the entire area of that washi that you use to cut out with the die. And then I'm also going to cut it out again because this just gives me a lot of little pieces to work with. I'm not sure how much I want to add to my card at this point, but I like having the extra pieces there, and you can always keep them and save them for later. Never ever throw these away. Sometimes I give them to my daughters and they use them for their own little cards that they make. So it just comes in handy, and I can't throw it away. Anyway, so I've got all the little air bubbles out of there, and I'm going to get out the coordinating poinsettia die. And this is the brilliance of these products. I love the fact that I can cut out all of these little images in one quick swoop through my die cutting machine. And because I'm now placing this down with washi tape on top of washi, I recommend placing the washi down in like a few different places to prevent it from moving. And you can see it just pops right out so easily, all those little pieces. Perfect, I'm ready to go. So let's move on, and I wanted to show you that this is the Perfect Sentiments Holiday Foil Plate and Die. And I did this ahead of time, so it's not actually in this video. I will link the video that I do all of this in. Actually, I don't even think I've posted that video yet, but for now, these are all the little images that you get, and it really doesn't take that long. I've foiled them in a bunch of different colors. I'm going to be using the Spellbinders black foil for mine, and I just keep them together in that tin that I showed you, and anytime that I need a sentiment, it's easy to just pull out and grab, and you got it ready for your card. So that's my little tip with these Pinkfresh sentiment plates. You can basically take them, foil them all in one go, keep them aside, and then anytime that you need sentiments, so they have these holiday sentiment plates, you can use those for all your holiday cards, and then go ahead and get some of the other plates that they have for everyday sentiments or just birthday sentiments, something like that. I forget exactly what it's called, but they do have a few different ones that you can get, and you just basically foil them all in one go, cut them all out, and you just keep them for later. I think that's just like a really cool idea because it saves a lot of time when you are making a bunch of cards. And in general, when you have to put a card together really quickly, it's just great to have them on hand. So for my card, I'm just kind of putting all my little washi bits down. I didn't use as much as I thought I would because I didn't want to cover too much of that background that I just created. I wanted it to show through, but I still wanted some of those poinsettias there to kind of just create a bit of interest on the front of that card. So now I'm going to add some of these lolly beads. Now, I mentioned it in every single one of my videos. It's linked in my blog, and they are nail art gems that you can get from Amazon. Now, I like them because if you do actually purchase these, they have a bit of weight to them. They're not plastic, so they actually look more like a rhinestone and feel like a rhinestone. But they don't add too much weight to your card because, as I said, they are nail gems. So they have to have that bit of, weightlessness to them. So I do recommend, buying those and trying them out. They shine so nicely in the light. So now I've cut out my card base. This is a 5-inch by 7-inch card, center folded card base, and I'm adding this rustic wilderness from the front of the card into the center. And as I do this, I'm really trying to blend out the darker color from the edge into the center. And these makeup brushes or these ink blending brushes that I think all of the crafty companies have now are ideal for this. They just add the color in such a light way that you can blend your colors out into white like this. Now right now it looks really splotchy, but I am going to be adding some more of those washi pieces to it, and then it just kind of comes together and it kind of evens out as it dries. So I will add, as I said, the extra washi pieces that I cut out, sorry. And I'm placing those on there either in front of or behind. It'd be nice to add some foam tape to this, but I want to keep it pretty flat because when I send this in the mail, I want my recipient to get it in one piece and for it not to really get too squashed. So finally, I have the sentiment left. I'm using this Altenew Blessing stamp set, which I use for basically all of my Christmas cards. They just have some really nice sentiments, and they have some scripty words and some printed words in there, which help you create a bit of interest on the inside of your card. So I will stamp out this actual scripty sentiment, Happy Holidays, in some VersaFine Clear Rainforest ink. And again, that just ties the whole card together because it kind of matches that rustic wilderness that we used on the front and on the inside. Now for the front of the card, I'm going to add a couple of Sizzix Opulent Gold Glitter cardstock strips to the top and the bottom of the card because my panel is a little small. And I personally like making bigger cards. I mean, what you do is completely up to you. You can totally make this for an A2 size card. This is A7. So I will just stick my panel onto the front. Now, if you notice, I always kind of jazz up the front of my panel before adding it to the card. You could always do this last. Your process is completely your own. Do what works for you. So this is the final product that I get here. As you can see, I have a lot of green, and I really like how that double foiling turned out here. And the inside nicely matches the front. And that is my card for you today. So I hope you guys were inspired to make a card of your own. Go ahead and link up your cards, your nice green cards, to our challenge post, and I am excited to see what you guys create. Again, if you did like my video, please give me a thumbs up, and you might want to subscribe to my channel. If you do, please hit the notification bell and you'll be notified of further videos that I do post, which I will be posting frequently. And if you get a chance, please check out my blog. All my products all of the supplies that I've used there are linked in the description, in the explanations. And on top of that, I have a bunch more inspiration that you might want to take a look at. For now, I'll just leave you with another video and a playlist. And I hope that you guys have a great day and that you join the challenge.